NTLDR is missing error message, which you might find that you get when you boot up your Windows XP machine. Uh, Basically, you'll come up to your machine, you'll power it on, and you'll find that it won't boot, and instead you're greeted with this error message: NTLDR is missing, press Ctrl Alt Delete to restart. Now there's a couple of reasons why you could be receiving this error message. One reason is, just as it says on screen, the NTLDR file is missing. And that could be because the file was accidentally deleted. It could also be that the file was perhaps maliciously deleted, maybe by a virus or a malicious piece of software that's that's on the PC. The other reason why you could be getting this error message is because the NTLDR file is corrupt. Okay, it's damaged, and unfortunately there's not really much that you can do in terms of protecting your files from corruption. It's just unfortunate. It's one of those things that happens from time to time on Windows machines. So the reason why you're getting the message, it could be because the NTLDR file is missing altogether, or it's being corrupt. Now, I'm going to show you how to repair that. And what I would recommend that you do, just to be absolutely sure, is that you do what the message says to restart the machine. Now, chances are it's not really going to do anything, and you're just going to get the error message again after you reboot. It's very unlikely, but the message has been known to appear as a mere fluke in the past. Like I said, the chances are when you reboot, it's not really going to do much, but it's worth doing it just to find out. So on your machine, you'll press Ctrl Alt Delete to restart it. Because I'm running this in a VirtualBox environment on a virtual machine, I'm just going to come down to this Machine tab, and I'm going to insert Ctrl Alt Delete. Now, you'll press Ctrl Alt Delete on your keyboard, but I'm just going to insert Ctrl Alt Delete, and that'll reboot the machine. And you can see that the message has come back. Okay, so something is definitely wrong with this NTLDR file. Either it's missing or it's been corrupted. Now, if you've rebooted your machine and that's not resolved the problem, what you're going to need is to get yourself a Windows XP CD. Now, this is going to be the CD that you would have used when you first installed Windows on your machine. Now, if you didn't install the operating system, or if you perhaps bought the machine from a shop, you may not have the Windows XP CD. Some PCs don't come with it included. If that's the case, if you can get your hands on a Windows XP disc, it doesn't have to be live. Okay, so you want to open the drawer, put the disc in, and close it up, which I'm doing just now. Okay, so you put the disc in your drive, and then you want the disc that came with your particular machine. It can be any Windows XP disc. If you can borrow one from a friend, that's cool. You can use it to fix the problem. So any Windows XP disk can be used to fix this message, NTLDR is missing. So once you've got your Windows XP disk, you boot your machine up, and once you get this error message, you want to enter the disk, the Windows XP disk, into your CD or DVD drive. Reboot the machine. Now I'm going to insert Control-Alt-Delete again, but you'll press Control-Alt-Delete on your keyboard to reboot it. And after it's rebooted, you should get press any key to boot from CD, a key to enter setup, and chances are D. Now I've just pressed enter, but it really doesn't matter. You can press any key on your keyboard and it'll boot to the CD. And what'll happen, the screen will turn blue. Now, if you don't get the press any key to boot to the CD message, chances are it's because you need to change the boot order or the boot sequence that's in your computer's BIOS. Now, how you get into your BIOS, it varies from PC to PC. Normally it's one of the F keys. On some machines it's the Del key, but basically when the PC's booting up and you've got all the writing appearing on the screen, you'll see an option that says press. Well, that's one of the F keys, or it's going to be the Del key. So you want to change that so that it boots to the CD drive first. Okay, normally it lists them in order of how it's going to boot, and normally the hard drive is at the top. If that's the case, you want to move the CD to the top of the list, and then as soon as you've done that, you'll get the message to boot to the CD. Okay, so once you boot to the CD, you'll get this blue screen appear, and at the bottom you'll see a little grey area that says setup is loading files, and you'll see all kinds of files zipping across here. And what you want to do is you want to wait for all those files to load in, and it takes anything from sort of 2 to 5 minutes, depending on the speed of your drive, for all those files to load in. Okay, and as soon as they're loaded in, we're going to use the recovery console tool on the CD to repair the. Okay, after all the files are loaded, you'll be presented with the Welcome to Windows setup screen, and basically it'll give you 3 choices. You'll have a choice of setting up Windows, to press enter, to repair a Windows XP installation using the recovery console, to push R, and to exit setup, to press F3. Now we're interested in the second option, the repair a Windows XP installation using the recovery console. So we're going to push R on the keyboard, and the screen will turn black, and it'll enter the recovery console tool. And this is what we're going to use to repair that NTLDR is missing error message. Now when you first get into the recovery console, it's going to ask you which Windows installation would you like to log on to. NTLDR Windows. That's where Windows is actually installed. Now 99% of the time you're just going to have the one installation of Windows, but if you're running a machine that's got 2 installations of Windows on it, you're going to see more than one copy of Windows listed, and it's going to list them all on this screen. And basically you need to select the one that you want to repair. Okay, so the copy of Windows that's giving you the problem is the one that you want to enter. Now, chances are, as I said, you're going to be pretty much seeing exactly what I've got here, which is just one installation of Windows. That's what it's more than likely going to be. So we're just going to press 1 on the keyboard, but again, if you've got more than one copy of Windows installed on your machine, you need to select the relevant installation of Windows, the one that's given you the probably going to be the password that you use to log on to Windows. Okay, so what you'll have to do is put in your password if you've got one. If you haven't got a password, just press enter and that'll get you past this stage. But if you do have an administrator password, you need to enter it at this point. Now I'm going to put my administrator password in and then press enter. And then as soon as you've done that, you'll arrive at the Windows directory. This is where Windows is actually installed. Now, what I recommend that you do to begin with, to start repairing this problem, is that you use the map command, okay? So type map, M-A-P, and then press enter. And what that'll do is it'll list all of the drives that are on your machine. Now, disk, which is where Windows is installed, and the D drive is my CD-ROM drive. Okay, and that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the CD drive or the DVD drive, the drive that's actually got the Windows XP disk in it at the moment. So yours could be different to D, or it might be D. Now, I can see that on mine the CD drive is mapped to the D drive, so that's what I'm interested in. So I'm after the D drive, but again, yours could be a different letter, so make sure you use the right letter. And at this point, you want to use the copy command and then a space, and we're going to type D:/I386/NTLDR. Then we're going to leave a space, and we're going to type C:/. And what that's basically saying is XP disk is. Okay, and we want to copy that over to the C directory, which is where Windows is. And you want to press enter. And as soon as you've done that, you'll get this message that says one file copied. Now, there's a possibility that you may get something different appearing here. You could be getting a question where it asks you, do you want to overwrite NTLDR? If you get that, you get a choice of yes, no, or all. And if you see that, you just want to type Y on the keyboard, Y for yes, and press enter, and then you'll get this one file copied. Okay, and as soon as you've done that, I would recommend that you do exactly the same thing for the ntdetect.com file, which is a file that works very closely with the NTLDR file. Is by /ntdetect.com. Then leave a space and you want to put in C:/. So what we're saying here is we want to copy the ntdetect.com file that's in the i386 folder that's on the D drive. Again, D is where the CD is. And we want to copy that over to the C drive, which is where Windows is. And then you want to press enter. So again, you could get overwrite ntdetect.com and you get a choice of yes, no, or all. If you get that, you just want to put Y for yes and press enter.